Well, hello, all you beautiful people in Webtown. Your host, Big Legit, super stoked today to talk about brand new comics from the 21st century that do indeed move the needle. These comics are from the finest independent publisher going today. That's Alterna Comics. You can hashtag Team Comics and let them know how awesome their comics are. And what's really cool about their comics is they are all just $1.50 to $2 an issue. And this is actually my first order. I ordered 7 comics from Alterna, and I'm gonna share 4 of them with you today, and kind of tell you what I thought of them, and maybe you'll find some you like. So when you get it, you get this nice little thank you note. You take a picture of the comics you bought, and Peter Samedi, owner of Alterna Comics, will send you a coupon code to save 20% on your next order at alternacomics.etsy.com. And you can just tweet it to them or send it to them on Instagram at Alterna Comics or at facebook.com/Alterna Comics. You get a lovely business card. You get a little tiny sticker that says comics are for everyone. If I was to just give you one recommendation if you're watching this, Peter, I wish that this was larger, and I wish that it was just the Alterna logo, and maybe it said comics for everyone. I would put it on the back of my car, and I would drive all over Portland giving you free advertisement because I really appreciate what you do, bro. This is great. So you get the sticker. And speaking of advertising, you can start advertising in Alterna Comics for as low as $25 an issue, which is phenomenal. So I'm just going to start going through the comics I bought. This is Mr. Crypt. Everything I bought was the first issue because I wanted to see if I should continue with their miniseries. I think everything they do is pretty much a miniseries. Obviously you can see 1 in a 3-issue limited series here. And Mr. Crypt is clearly for children. It's all about this living skeleton and see, all the people are coming in. This is all done on newsprint too. But it looks vastly superior to the newsprint from the 80s and the early 90s when I first started collecting comics. The improvements in printing are pretty unbelievable here. And, I don't want to spend much time talking about this comic because I didn't think it was that great. I love the artwork. I love the idea of this comic book. But at the end of the day, it wasn't really that funny for me. I don't know how it would be funny for the 4 and 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds in my life. Basically, he loses his mustache and he wants to find it. And Mr. Crypt just did not do a lot for me. And to be honest, I'm not going to pick up issue 2 and 3 of this one. And that's okay. Next up, I bought the one-shot of the Fear Diaries. This I thought was going to be really, really phenomenal. Obviously, the cover art is breathtakingly good, and I love the colors. I love the villain. I love the colors. I love the art. Nicholas Torres did the artwork in this, and I think he did just like a fantastic job here. But it's unfortunately not quite a story that really did anything for me. I thought it was going to be about a bad guy teddy bear. Turns out that the teddy bear is the good guy. And it's all about this Teddy having to fight other stuffed animals and in a dream world. And he teams up with this turtle, and he teams up with a unicorn and I think a panda bear. And they fight the evil toys. And the colors are what I enjoyed the most out of this. The art and the colors are really great. It's just this story didn't do much for me, but I do think that a kid might like this one more than Mr. Crypt. And I mean like a little kid. I'm talking 4, 5, 6, 7. And so I would say that this is more designed for them. It's really breathtaking colors. I'm a big fan of color. And I'm always impressed whenever I see a good colorist. Which would be, Nicholas Torres did it all. I mean, he did it all. He drew this, he inked it, and he colored it. And phenomenal. Jim Callahan, who did the cover, did great. But, ultimately, like, this just didn't do enough for me. I really, when I read a comic and I feel like the characters are great, but that I'm coming up with a better story in my own mind, I tend to be disappointed in the story at the end of the day. It was very simple, very straightforward, very basic. And you might have a kid in your life that would like this, though. Especially, I have a little cousin who's really into wanting to watch horror movies. And, obviously I can't show him Jason and I can't show him Freddy because he is little. But he can hang out with the action figures and try to figure out what's going on with these evil characters, and he's very much into being a Sith Lord too when he's playing Star Wars. So that's the Fear Diaries. Again, worth it for $2. Now, Lilith Dark was absolutely phenomenal. This comic book was so entertaining. Charles C. Dowd wrote this. He drew this. He did everything in this comic book. And it's just about this little girl named Lilith who, I don't know, she just has quite the imagination. And she imagines that she's doing all sorts of fun things. And the way she speaks is just like a little kid. Do they really think a steel door will keep me out? I mean, hello? I do got a skeleton key that'll open pretty much any door anywhere. It's like they don't even try. Now, the only question is, what kind of beasties are we dealing with? Is it the funny ones that look all cute but then have razor-sharp teeth? Maybe the ones with 1,000 eyes and spider legs? Ick. Or maybe the worst kind of all, cannonballs. Goblins are eating human flesh here. And this comic was so entertaining, written very well, drawn very well. The only complaint is something happened at the printers, clearly. Clearly something has happened here at the printers. And it's just kind of splotchy. I don't know if they were running out of ink. Like, this is major no-no. Major no-no. It concerns me, actually, about all the other Lilith Dark books that they printed. Are they all going to have this lesser quality? And the truth is that really it didn't matter because the story was so fun and the art was so good that even with the bad printing job, which is not Peter Simeti's fault at all, it's very tough to be an independent publisher, and sometimes you have to take what you can get and you have to bite the bullet. Other times you have enough stroke that you can return stuff and get it reprinted, and I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if maybe I just got, the one bad printing. Maybe this book was the last one to come off the production line, and so they were running out of ink. I can't quite figure it out. But super fun. Super duper fun. She chases this little kitty cat. It's great. Just trying to, help this cat, misses the bus. And I would highly, highly recommend this for any adult or any child. This is very much like something Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg's company, would turn into a cartoon. And I am going to pick up the next 3 issues with my 20% discount. I will definitely be picking up the next 3 issues. Now, on to my favorite Alterna comic that I read. Cyko KO is the funniest, most entertaining book ever. It is written and drawn by Rob Feldman. And it's very much a lot like Lilith Dark. It reminds me of something that I would write. It's campy and goofy and silly, not meant to be taken too seriously, very much tongue-in-cheek. Nothing inappropriate for kids at all in it, but there are still a few jokes that only adults will kind of get that kids just won't quite get. It's kind of like they're driving in the Mystery Mobile. I want you to really think about Scooby-Doo and Mystery Incorporated. And that's kind of the vibe, except they're heroes. This is Kreskin. He's kind of the leader, I'm guessing, in charge of their little group. And Cyko just wants to go on vacation and go to the surf competition. And there's like this hot waitress that works there that has a big crush on him, even though Peachy Keen is his girlfriend, kind of. And this is the bad guy, Kuda Kano. And he's been the surf champ for the last 5 years because Cyko hasn't been around the beach for a few years, but Cyko had won the competition before him. And so they're going to have a big surf off, and this is his little buddy, the Lil Kahuna. And it's just so silly, but still engaging as an adult. I can't say that about Mr. Crypt. That wasn't engaging for me as an adult at all. I don't know how it would even be engaging for a kid. It just was too simple, way too simple. This, however, is ridiculous in the best way I could possibly imagine. I was a little hesitant at first with the art, but as I read the story, it fits perfectly with the art. It's kind of got, that Johnny Quest sort of a vibe, very simplistic, but that's great. It works great, and I could not recommend Cyko KO enough. You should absolutely go on alternacomics.etsy.com and pick this up today. I mean, this is great. You won't get it by Halloween, but you will have fun reading this over the autumn and the winter months. I'm going to go buy every Cyko KO book Alterna sells because it was absolutely the funniest, silliest thing. It's innocent, and you don't get a lot of innocence now in 21st century America. They've really tried to strip that away, what I refer to as the kids' table and the adults' table. When I was a child, like, for example, we have Thanksgiving coming up here in just a few weeks. When I was a kid, the kids sat at a kids' table in a different room, and we had kid conversations. And the adults sat in another room, and they had adult conversations. Now, everyone wants to bring the kids to the adult table from the moment they're, like 6 years old, it seems like. And I think that's very weird and bizarre. And comics like this, comics like this, comics like this, comics like this, they give me hope that there are still creators out there who understand that kids need entertainment too, and that there doesn't need to be anything subversive in that entertainment. And without a doubt, these two comic books right here had nothing subversive in them. They were simply entertainment for people aged 8 to 80. This is entertainment at its finest. Alterna Comics blew it out of the water right out of the gate for me. Best investment I have made in comics this year since starting to do these comic book reviews, and I could not recommend these two specifically more. I'm going to pick up all 4 issues. I'm going to pick up the other 2 issues of this, and I'm going to have a great time reading these, and then I'm going to talk about them a little bit more and let you know for sure here in a couple weeks, like, were these really great? Okay, maybe it'll be 3 or 4 weeks before I get them in the mail. But I don't know how they could suddenly turn bad. They were so silly. They were so silly and so funny. And Charles C. Dowd and Rob Feldman, you are definitely men of my own heart, without a doubt. You definitely understand how to entertain an adult while also entertaining a kid. You are the Spielbergs of the comic book community in the 21st century. And keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing something that's absolutely phenomenal, that is sorely lacking in our world today. And that's creating great entertainment for kids that parents don't have to worry about. I feel safe, letting my kids read your books. I don't have to review these beforehand. I know that Cyko KO issue 2, Lilith Dark issue 2, I can hand those to a little kid and say, go read this, kid. And they'll go read it, and they'll have fun, and they won't have any weird questions about sex to ask me or about politics to ask me. And that's exactly what I want in entertainment. And you gentlemen have delivered. Charles Dowd, Rob Feldman, Peter Simeti, Alterna Comics, you have delivered. So, as we continue through the autumn months, as we get into November, I'm going to do some more Alterna Comics. I just wanted to get these ones out of the way before Halloween because they definitely have a Halloween vibe. Cyko KO, not so much. But Lilith Dark, Mr. Crypt, and the Fear Diaries definitely had the Halloween spooky, scary movie kind of a vibe. And Cyko KO is just pure fun. I hope you make 100 issues of this. I will continue to buy this as long as you make it. Lilith Dark, I have a feeling I will continue to buy this too as long as you make it. But in November, we're going to get into the sci-fi books that I got, which include Adam Reck, Eric Henson's Eden. Doesn't that look phenomenal? Man, it's just begging me to read it. And Exilium, which I'm very interested in this too. This is very different. This looks computer generated to me. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what all of these are about. And I will definitely let you know which ones did it for me. This is really pulling me in immediately. This is begging me to read it today. But I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off because we have a big day tomorrow talking about a lot of comics for Halloween, a lot of stuff I've got planned for you beautiful, beautiful ghosts and goblins out there. So, what I want you to do, if you'd be so kind, is to like this video, subscribe, please subscribe, hit that ding dong for those notifications. And then I want you to go to alternacomics.etsy.com and pick up Lilith Dark and Cyko KO and see if you can find a couple other comics from Alterna, from Peter Simeti, that you would like. And that's going to do it for me. And I look forward to reading more Alterna Comics. I look forward to talking to all of you beautiful people out there about more comic books that move the needle from Alterna, from Team Comics. And I will see you all tomorrow for another amazing comic book review for Halloween here on Testosterone Overload.